Maddie, what have you been up to? Me? Well, I've been climbing mountains. And very scared because I'm very afraid of heights. Thanks to everybody who commented on the last Ask Cristen video. While there were lots of comments about straight guys and lesbians, there were also a lot of comments about spiders. I mentioned killing a spider, and it freaked a lot of y'all out. One Russian user, whose Russian username I can't pronounce because I don't speak Russian so good, or at all, said, crazy how it's just a-okay to kill spiders on the spot just because you're grossed out, yet if most anything else is killed, it's considered heinous. My favorite part of that comment is how grossed out is in quotes, as if to challenge the sincerity of my level of being grossed out at a spider. It's sincere. Soph LJ said, why do people have to kill spiders? Ah! I never want to see a screenshot of that. There were also a number of not so humorous comments from a lot of women, but also guys as well, regarding people who hit on them so much and so persistently they don't take no for an answer. I'm still kind of processing everything folks had to say about that, and I want to talk about it in maybe next week's Ask Cristen. If you have any comments or experiences or questions on that topic you want me to include, let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, let's talk about this week's Ask Cristen question, which is one that I've received from both men and women alike. Can he do a video on what feminists believe, and can feminists be guys? And no, this is a girls only club. We don't want you. My favorite color is pink and I like horses and chocolates. Let's break this down into 3 questions. First question, where did the term feminism come from anyway? The English term feminism actually derives from the French word féminisme, which was coined in 1837 by a French philosopher named Charles Fourier, who looked around him and said, hey ho, women have 0 rights, and maybe a way to improve society would be to, I don't know, give them more rights. According to Oxford English Dictionary, the English word feminism then appears a little bit later on in 1895, but it really doesn't come into mainstream use until the 1960s and 70s, when ironically second wave feminists decided to adopt it because women's libbers had become such a polarizing term. Which brings us to our second and perhaps more important question of what does feminism mean? Feminism is a pretty cut and dried term that simply refers to believing in the political, social, and economic equality of the sexes. If you think that men and women should get equal pay for doing the same work, men and women should be able to walk down the street and enjoy a sense of safety, that men and women should have equal amounts of autonomy over their own bodies in general, then hey, that's what feminism's all about. It also extends into equality, racially speaking, ability speaking, ethnicity speaking. Feminism essentially is saying, okay, we might have all these different kinds of labels, but when it comes to the rights that we are granted, it should apply equally across the board. Which brings us to the third and final question of, well, can men be feminists? Yeah, there are some self-identified feminists who say, you know what, I'm really not comfortable with men claiming to be feminists, but I don't think that that's okay. As soon as we start saying, hey, you know what, you're not invited to the party, then it becomes really easy to say, no, not you either. We need as many people advocating for and living a life that embodies equality and social justice as much as we can. Men, yes, absolutely, you can be feminist. It's not just me who thinks so either. I tweeted this out to my @MomStuff podcast followers, and this is what the ladies had to say. Paper Armor says, belief in gender equality does not depend on the believer's gender expression. Katie Spears says, does a bear poop in the woods? The Aaron Paula said, yes they can. Insert picture of Rosie the Riveter. Ella Smith says, how about a yes sir? I want to hear from you. What do you think about this issue of guys being feminists? Are there any feminist guys out there? Let me know in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. By conversation, I'm not referring to all the trolls I'm sure who are reliably crafting hilariously biting comments about how I'm secretly a man with a penis and I'm a feminazi and a harpy shrew who wants to kill all of the men out there. I just did the commenting work for you, trolls. Don't forget to ask me your questions so that I can give you some feminist answers.